This is an introduction to slope-intercept form. So I wrote down slope-intercept form here on the paper. Slope-intercept form is y equals mx plus b. So whenever you see these words here that's asking for slope-intercept form, this is the equation you should think of. Y equals mx plus b. So in pink here, I've labeled m in our formula stands for the slope, b stands for the y-intercept, and x and y will always be variables in the equation, so these will always stay as x and y. What's going to change is our m value and the b value. So in our first example here, example 1, we want to just identify the slope and the y-intercept for each of these equations. So for equation number 1, we have y equals 2x minus 3. So looking at the equation, I'm going to write y equals mx plus b under here so that we can compare them. The number that is in front of our x variable is always the slope. So in this case, our slope is going to be 2. And it is positive. The number that we are adding or subtracting at the end, so the number that's by itself, is our y-intercept in the equation. So in this example, y equals 2x minus 3. Our y-intercept is minus 3 or negative 3. When there is a minus sign or when you're subtracting this number, you need to always make sure that you include it in your y-intercept value. So it's not just 3, it is a negative 3. So make sure that you always look and check if this is a plus or a minus sign, because this is going to change your y-intercept. So whatever equation you're given, if it is in this form, y equals mx plus b, you just look at the number that comes before the x and whatever number you're adding or subtracting at the end. If we have another problem here, and we need to write the equation in slope-intercept form, and we are given the slope and the intercept. So our slope is going to be 3/4. Our y-intercept is 5. And we need to now write an equation ourselves. We always start by writing down y equals mx plus b, because in the directions it said it wanted slope-intercept form, so I write down y equals mx plus b. After doing that, I need to replace m with our slope value and replace b with our y-intercept value. So slope is 3/4. So when I write my equation, I replace m with a 3/4. Make sure to include the x variable always in your answer. So I have 3/4 x, and then I want to replace the y-intercept with whatever y-intercept value. In this case, it is positive 5, so I write a plus 5. This finishes off my equation. So when I'm writing it in slope-intercept form, I replace the slope value where m is, I replace the y-intercept value where b is, and then I write out my equation. Always make sure to include your y variable and your x variable in the final answer.